to join you in this meditation, this beautiful Sunday morning. Now to share some thoughts, especially in connection with how meditation relates to the supreme goal of human life, self-realization. That is how we look at it. There is a whole philosophy behind this self-knowledge and self-realization. Basically, the gist of it is we live in certain spiritual ignorance. We do not know who we truly are. If only we know who we truly are, on one hand, all sorrow and fear come to an end. On the other, our relationship with everyone else, with the world, spontaneously becomes harmonious. We don't want to take anything from anybody. We are not afraid of someone taking away something from us. And in many other ways, whatever jitter, whatever anxiety generally marks our life, all come to an end in what is called self-realization. I'll try to say something about how meditation relates to this self-realization. Our mind is a double-edged sword, like a knife which can be used to cut fruits or vegetables, can also be used to stab somebody. This mind of ours helps us in countless ways, but this mind is the cause of so much of negativities also. Someone compared the human mind with a monkey that is very restless. As though that's not enough, this monkey drinks the wine of desire, all kinds of desires. As though that's not enough, a scorpion of jealousy bites this monkey and it goes wild. As though that is not enough, this monkey is entered into by the ghost of pride and arrogance. Enough of literature. This mind can be a big troublemaker. Therefore, I am now bringing matter to meditation straight away. Meditation, of which this heartful meditation is one of the best in my understanding, simple, straight, without too many technicalities and touching the essence of the matter. Meditation helps in this journey towards self-realization, which is rightly called by wise people the journey of awakening. It's not a journey from Vancouver to Toronto. It's not a journey from Delhi to Bangkok. Those are all journeys in space, in time. But this journey is one of awakening, where earlier we were in a dreamy existence of notions, ideas, concepts about who we are. And in the awakening, we realize that we are a certain divine spark. Our nature is love. Our nature is peace. Our nature is harmony. So in this journey of awakening, there are two stages, broadly speaking. One is to quieten the mind, to calm the mind, to make the mind a little more focused, rather than getting driven, getting swayed in countless directions. The wandering mind needs to be brought to some order, some focus, and meditation is an excellent training we give to ourselves to bring this mind to certain order, certain proper regular flow, and so on. Along with it, the first stage includes letting go of negativities. Why should we be afraid? Why should we covet? Why should we desire something that somebody has? Why should we live in some kind of envy or unwarranted anxiety about future? Why should we live in regrets of something that happened 10 or 20 years ago? We have enough common sense to see that this kind of swinging to the future or past is not good. But generally we are not able to help it. Our mind goes back and forth. What I will be after 5 years? What I will be by when I get old? All kinds of thoughts. So a lot of these unnecessary desires, fears, anxieties, etc. go away. Just as there is a bucket of water and some dust has fallen upon it, if you just leave that bucket to itself, the dust settles down. In many forms of meditation that you and I use, the negativities just settle down. So this is called purification of the mind. Meditation is a great tool to purify our mind. Now I'll come to the higher stage as regards self-realization. This gets a little abstract, it gets a little more philosophical. This, everyone may not, all of you are exposed to this material, but generally anybody would find it a bit hard to understand. And what I'm trying to say is, apart from fear, anxiety, regrets, etc., which are easily understood, a sense of others and I, sense of far and near, sense of inert and sentient, a sense of worthy and unworthy. A whole lot of dualities seem to be so true generally. In the higher plane, on the higher plane of spiritual study followed by meditation, in my opinion, some amount of study, you don't have to do a lot of study, some amount of essential study of the related material makes you well informed what it is, what the possibilities are in this journey. So, with some study and with meditation, what happens is this duality to which we are so accustomed begins to thin out, begins to get less and less. It is said by many mystics that in their realization, not by reading some book, many mystics in the West and in the East, in Europe and Africa, in India and Australia, for this spiritual wisdom is not limited to any particular community, any gender. Mystics all over the world, though they are very few in number, have given testimony to this. There is a certain awakening where you find all are one only. We are different at the most on a functional level. You may be an expert in mathematics, I may be expert in gardening. Gardening is not mathematics, mathematics is not gardening. But that is all functionality. But in terms of inner worth, we have no business actually to look at somebody as unworthy and ourselves to be worthy, somebody as a sinner and ourselves to be a great meritorious person. These are all machinations, these are all what mind gets into, conditioned mind. Our mind in deeper meditation lets go of certain social conditionings rooted in some bias, some prejudice, or sometimes some of these conditionings come from certain propaganda. Somebody goes around and says, you know these people, they are like that. You know these people, they are like that. You know my son is like this. You know my nephew is like that. Hold on. Why do you get hijacked by some such opinions. Don't judge anybody so hastily. Don't label anyone so much on the surface. Be patient. Look at the person whom you think is unworthy. Look at him more carefully. You will find an angel inside what you thought or who you thought to be a devil. In everyone there is the divine spark. So these words are good, but its realization can happen in true meditation. The same mind which divides, which judges, which labels, and which rewards and punishes, which envies somebody looking at something that she has, and pities somebody, looks at somebody else with contempt, this same mind goes through a transformation in meditation. As we go to greater depths of our own being, we have a certain silence within us. That silence is not one of becoming from piece of furniture, etc. That silence, on the contrary, is accompanied by tremendous intelligence. Spiritual intelligence cuts through superficialities and sees that all are lovable. All are lovable. I too am lovable. All are capable of loving. I too am capable of loving. To perceive ourselves and to perceive others. Somebody may be a cancer patient. That doesn't make him or her unlovable. Somebody may be a homeless person. That doesn't make her an unlovable person. Everyone is lovable. I too am lovable. All of us are loving and lovable. This becomes a matter of a deep insight. And the kind of peace, the kind of tranquility, the kind of comfort that one experiences, you and I experience in that realization, is itself called the self-realization. The pure self, as some philosophies call it, pure self, or the self with an uppercase S, that is literature, that is linguistics. The pure self is marked by unconditional peace and love. Then one does not hate anyone, one does not hate oneself either. So a host of virtues, a host of desirable dimensions of our being all open up on the higher level. To use one sentence of modern physics, even space and time shrink in this self-realization. Space increasingly in physics is being looked at with suspicion. Last century Einstein said space is curved and time slows down. Very, very mind-blowing revelations. And the journey of physics doesn't stop there. It goes on. And today, without going into details, if you have some friends who are much into physics, check with them. There is much talk about what is called entangled particles. When one particle is some tens of thousands or more miles away, another particle is here. At one time they were together. They were generated, two were generated from one went far, another is here. And the physics is talking about them being entangled. If this particle here in Vancouver turns by 90 degrees, twists, the other one, hundreds of thousands of miles away also turns at the same time. They were very puzzled. Einstein also came to know about it, and he said it's a spooky phenomenon. Brush it aside, don't think much about it. But later on in quantum physics and all, they went into it. And can you believe? They say now, this idea that this particle and that particle are many light years away, etc., is wrong. There is no true space. They are not apart at all. You and I wonder, what do you mean? A distant star is so many light years away. And you say that is not away from us? Yes, it's not away. It is in your perception. It's in your way of seeing. You are limited by your senses and your mind. You are that pure consciousness which can transcend these limitations. And in that higher vision, you will not say this particle and that particle are far apart. In fact, mind-blowing revelations, not spirituality or philosophy, but physics is talking today. These two particles which you say they are two particles far apart are not two at all. The two particles are one only, perceived as two by your limited intelligence. Therefore, it is truly a mind-blowing possibility which is in every one of us. Nothing is a disqualification. One may have some physical limitations, one may have some other handicaps in life. Nothing comes in the way of this realization. If I am handicapped, it may be difficult for me to climb a mountain, but to get self-realization, it's not a handicap. If I know good language, I make 7 mistakes in every sentence, then those things do not matter. Therefore, friends, this meditation supported by a little study supported by some meditation can take us way higher than our present way of living, where there is insecurity, where there is heartburn, where there is sometimes a bewilderment, where am I, where will I be tomorrow, and all that. All those are unnecessary. This is what can bring to us true fulfillment of life. Without seeking true fulfillment, your job is to just keep quiet, watch, be alert, turn within. Don't aim at some kind of, okay, very soon I'm going to be a superhuman being and go around. Please don't imagine those things. Those can be more an obstacle than help us in this journey. So, thank you very much for this opportunity to share some thoughts. I didn't expect in Vancouver there is such a group every Sunday morning they meet. The moment I heard, I expressed interest, maybe we should join. And my host and friend said, let's go. And all of you so kindly welcomed me, welcomed my team and me. That's wonderful. Thank you and all the best. Have a very nice day.